So the man David, you know, I talked a little bit about the man David, I talked a little bit about the man David, and people remained wondering, why did I cut it short? Because I talked only for 10 minutes. Cut it short. You are very lucky. I'm going to release the whole message if possible, if time allows.
Amen.
Bwana asifiwe.
Amen.
May God give me the grace to release the message to you. So, we are reading from the book of Acts, chapter 13, verse 22. That is our verse. This message. Acts chapter 13, verse 22 is our key verse. This message. Chapter 13, verse 22. And it says, and when he had removed him, he raised up for them David as king, to whom also he gave testimony and said, I have found David, the son of Jesse, a man after my own heart, who will do all my will. So the key words in that key verse, a man after my own heart. I found myself a man after my own heart who will do my will. And God says, a man after my own heart who will do all my will. If we go back to David as a young man, I think David was rejected by his father. Don't you think so? Why do I think so? When God spoke to prophet Samuel to go and anoint a king in the house of Jesse, Jesse brought all his sons, but one was missing. And this one was not remembered among the sons. That makes me think Jesse did not value David. So after Samuel trying to pour the oil to anoint a king, the oil was not flowing out of the horn. The 7 sons passed before Samuel, and the oil never poured. And that prompted Samuel, and God said, when God looked at the stature of the sons, they were strong enough, they were muscular, they looked presentable, they were handsome men. And whoever came before Samuel, Samuel thought that that was the one. But God said to Samuel, I do not look at the body. I don't see as men see. I look at the heart. God said, I look at the heart. So the 7 sons passed before Samuel, and the oil never flowed. And that prompted Samuel to ask, is there any other? Now, ukisoma that scripture inasema, then Jesse said, there's another one. He's taking care of the animals. So David had been forgotten in the wilderness, running after animals, taking care of his father's goats and sheep, camel and whatever animal he had. Yeye alikuwa amesahaulika. Then Samuel said, go and call for him. So David was called, I think, kwa nguo zake za uchungaji. You know, those who have ever taken care of animals understand very well. In the wilderness, kwa vichaka ukipita ng'ombe sometimes anakupitishia kwa kichaka vigwara ingine zinakurarulia, vijiti vinakwama kwa nguo vinakurarulia nguo. So David was called in that state ya uchungaji Then he came. This makes me think that David was a reject in that family, or if he was not a reject, he was not as valuable as the other sons. Ukianalyze hivyo, so unaona kweli David was not as valuable as the other sons. Bwana asifiwe. Then you look at the life of David. After he had been anointed, there was the Goliath. Are you seeing the Goliath? And the sons of Jesse had been invited to go as soldiers to fight against Goliath. Then Jesse sends David to take food to the brothers. So how did the brothers react? Wanamuita nani? Kiherehere. Wanamuita kiherehere, umekuja tena. Yana uliza sasa, what is the problem? Mimi na nini na nini? But huyu kiherehere ndiye aliua nani? Huyo kiherehere ndiye aliua Goliath. Has he started doing the will of God or not? He started with Goliath, eh? He killed the giant. When he took up the task of killing Goliath, what did he say? You come to me with the swords and spears, but I come to you in the name of the God of Israel, whom you have abused. So he did not go in his own strength, but he went in the strength of God. And that enabled him to do the will of God by killing Goliath, the enemy of Israel, the person who had abused the God of Israel. David is the one who brought him down, just with a stone. Jiwe tu. Are you getting it?
Yes.
The man after God's own heart. So, that's why we say David had a special place in God's heart. He had a special place in God's heart. He was not like his brothers. His brothers believed in their muscles. They believed in their intellect. But David believed in God. And that is why he had a special place in God's heart. God found delight in David. So God can also delight in us. He can also delight in you. God can find pleasure in a human being. Bwana asifiwe.
Amen.
Is it possible for God to find pleasure in us?
Yes.
Yeah, it is possible. It is very much possible. As long as we live, it is not too late. It will only be too late when we stop living on this earth. Bwana asifiwe.
Amen.
Bwana apewe sifa.
Amen.
So God found delight in David. God can also find delight in us. And it is so wonderful when God finds delight in you. And I tell you, it is so wonderful. We can give testimonies and testimonies of what happens when God delights in you. Bwana asifiwe.
Amen.
So my question is, was David a perfect man? Was he so perfect that God found delight in him? Remember, this is the boy whom Jesse the father did not value. His work was to take care of the animals. Kumbe huko in the wilderness, he was being trained for a higher calling. In the wilderness, he had weaknesses. He was not a strong man. He was not a perfect man. He had his weaknesses. He had his wickedness that he did that did not please God. Vitu vingine alifanya ambavyo vilichukiza Mungu sana. God hated them. But that did not change the feeling of God towards David. ukisoma maandiko unakuta kwamba David did some serious mistakes. Serious mistakes. A man after God's own heart is here committing adultery. A man after God's own heart, here, when he was a king, conducts the census of his people without God's command. God never commanded him. A man after God's own heart takes another man's wife and kills the man. But I want to tell you, God, that never changed God's delight in David. But he punished the sin. He punished the what? The sin. But that never changed God's feeling towards them. Kwa tukamwambiaje, watoto wako watachukua ya concubines, watalala nao. Did it happen? So maandiko, it happened. Yule mtoto alizaa na Bathsheba aliishi. David fasted for 7 days. But God said no. So the son died. Sin was punished. Alipohesabu watu, what happened? God sent pestilence. The angel of God came and killed. Yani, kusoma maandiko inasema by midday 75,000 people had died. By midday 75,000 people. And hiyo ikafanya David fell down and asked God for mercy. Akasema, God, it is I who sinned, not these people. Here at the heart of David, he's saying, it is I who sinned, not these people. What happened then? God stopped immediately. When he made that confession, immediately God stopped. Na akaambia malaika, withdraw your sword. And the angel withdrew his sword. Na vifo vika stop from there. That was David, a man after God's own heart. Hear those words. It is I who sinned. Kama ni sisi tungesemaje? Fulani ndiye alifanya. But David says, it is I who sinned, not these people. He admitted his mistakes. That is how God delighted in him more. Bwana asifiwe.